This is part 2 of analysing the poem Exposure, and at the end of the last clip I mentioned having a look at the last section of the context to see if you can pick up any more information to guide you for your analysis. And I've done exactly the same here, and as you can see, some of the things that I've picked up on that is going to help me with my analysis is I've picked up on some of the key language features mentioned, so I know I'm looking for pronouns, our and we. Shows us it's a personal experience. He was part of it, the poet is part of it. And I think one of the more challenging ones is E from Smile, which is exploring, and that's about the tone and why it's been written. And I'm given two pieces of information here. The first one is that the poet, Owen, wants to expose the conditions of the soldiers. So I've written the word truth there. So this title, Exposure, is not just about being exposed to the weather conditions and how horrific it was, but maybe his intention of writing this poem is to expose and reveal the truth, what it was really like for the soldiers. I found another bit of information for structure there with a repeated phrase that I'm going to look out for. And again, the explore at the end there, with the tone. The poet's tone is deliberately provoking emotive language. So I'm looking for this language that is going to affect how I am made to feel and how the soldiers are feeling. So now I've got that, I should be able now, when looking at the poem, to find some of this information, to link it to it, which is exactly what you're asked to do in the exam. Okay, so to support you and to help you out, there are some questions in your booklet that will help you. Each one asks you to do specific things and look for specific phrases. What I'm going to do is leave that for you to do, and I'm just going to go through some of the stanzas and key phrases separately, just to give you an idea, so that you could obviously do the questions on top of what we're going to discuss in this clip. Okay. So I've got my highlighters ready for Smile, and I've got the information around the outside to help me and guide me. So the first thing that I think I want to do is look at the title, because the title of the poem, there's lots of interpretations we could have there. So interpret is green. So I'm going to look at exposure, because I already know it's got a double meaning. Expose, as in the truth, which links to the intention, the poet's intention there. So I might link it by just using my purple colour, because that's about exploring there. But alternative interpretations are going to get me a higher mark. So it's not just about exposing the truth, but exposure links to the idea of weather, and cold weather at that. If you are exposed to cold temperatures, then the image that comes to mind is one of fear, danger, death. Okay, so I now have several interpretations just from the title that are easy for me to look at and link in later on. Okay, so let's have a look at this first stanza then.